All right, everybody, this is Shake and Bake from www.shakespub.net. Hope everybody's doing great out there. This is a gaming spotlight, and it's on a game you may have not even heard of. And you may be thinking, what is this? But I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this spotlight, what has me excited about this game. And the game is called Sketch Tales. This is an indie game from 8D Studios. And this is early access. It comes out I'll tell you when it comes out. This thing comes out. There's a counter on their website. 4 days, 17 hours is when this game comes out. And this thing, to me, it looks a little silly, kind of drawing or whatever, but I think there's so much potential here, not only for kids, but for adults, and just creativity and a lot of fun. And I'm going to talk more about that in detail in a minute. But let's go. It's on Steam. I'll put the link to the Steam page below. I think it's going to be $10, and which, from what I can see, I'm getting this game. Bottom line is I'm getting it, and I'm going to tell you why. So let's go first to I did my research, right? I always, before I get a game, I try to research it. I read the forums. I search the internet. I research kind of the indie team to see what they're kind of about. And I see, is this a team I want to support? So I find this interview with this gentleman who is heading up this development team. He's got a background with with a Stalker series with Servarium, and he's basically started his own company. But I watched this video, and there's translation at the bottom. And like I said, I could be totally wrong. I'm usually pretty good at judging people. But the guy seems really sincere and passionate about creating his vision of this game, and he doesn't want it muddied by basically, companies that are funding the project, right? Which can happen, obviously. And so he's taking this big risk in bringing us this game, and I think it's original, it's creative, and enough of me talking. Check this guy out.
Меня зовут Алексей Сытянов. Вы можете меня знать по таким проектам, как «Сталкер. Тень Чернобыля», «Сурвариум», где я работал в качестве ведущего геймдизайнера и сценариста. Мы находимся у меня в квартире. Эту квартиру подарил мне мой отец. И так получилось, что эту квартиру он получил, потому что он был в Чернобыле, и он был одним из эвакуаторов. Я прожил здесь 17 лет. Здесь прекрасная местность, озеро. На другой стороне.
All right, so I'm going to stop right there. So basically, again, this guy seems like just a real nice guy and sincere from what I can see. I could be totally wrong, but just from what I'm seeing and what he's saying, this was his dad's apartment. He inherited it from his dad. He's been there 17 years. This is what he's got, this place. And basically what he's going to say next is he sells this place to basically kick off this company and this game Sketch Tales.
Озеро мусоросжигательный завод. Здесь я разрабатывал свои первые игры. Здесь я жил, когда делал «Сталкер». Это место очень значимое для меня. И сегодня я нахожусь здесь в последний раз. Я продал эту квартиру, чтобы профинансировать проект своей мечты. Очень много чего я бы хотел сделать, чем поделиться с игроками. А возможностей для этого не очень много. И когда мы пробовали работать с инвесторами, то я столкнулся с тем, как...
Yeah, so this is where he starts to talk about, he wants that autonomy of his own company so he can basically make the game he wants to make, a game for gamers. This guy's like a diehard gamer, it looks like. But like he says, work with investors, publishers. It's going to get influence. It can't be helped because at the end of the day, it's all up for them. Some of them, it's about the bottom dollar. So
инвесторы и издатели тоже сильно влияют на то, что мы создаем. Они хотят уменьшить риски. Они хотят, чтобы игра точно заработала деньги свои против экспериментов. И получается, что мы оказываемся...
All right, you get the idea. So this video, out of all of them, really actually, kind of like touched me. Like, this guy is going for it. He's taking this huge risk. He sells this family apartment that I could tell just by looking at his eye. You could tell that was obviously not an easy decision for him. So right from there, I was hooked. I'm like, I got to check out this company and what they're doing. So here's this concept video, and there's some images I'm going to show you, but I'm going to show you this concept. There's like only a couple videos. There's not a whole bunch, but this one's pretty good. It kind of gives you the gist of what this game is about. I'm going to stop it at some points to tell you what has me excited about the different elements in this game. Here we go. 8D Studio. Again, it comes out, I think, this Sunday, 4 days.
Gone, stolen by unknown evil forces. Now the sketchy realm is doomed and its inhabitants are slowly vanishing. And
let me just say this video is a little older. And so one of the things I've seen posts from the devs is that, you know, a lot of this stuff has obviously been updated. So just remember that.
Away.
Become the hero who's going to save them, or be the one who feasts on their grief. In Sketch Tales, your decisions shift the story, while your creativity and self-expression shape the gameplay. Remember how you drew all those heroes, monsters, or just funny caricatures there in the margins of the pages in your notebook? Were you dreaming of how...
So basically, just to stop right there, you see the hands at the bottom of the screen? You draw those. So you got to draw, it's FPS, right? You draw your own hands. I mean, if you want a claw, you want a hand that looks like a club or a pork chop, whatever, you draw it, man. I think that's going to, right, just that is going to be a ton of fun. And I think, you know, if you play with your friends, you're going to be rolling, just seeing what people draw as their hands.
Your characters might come to life and creating a story about them. That's what inspired us to make a sandbox RPG, where anything the player draws becomes a part of the game world. But first, you have to explore this.
Okay, so that right there. So basically what you draw becomes animated in the world, and it takes on a life of its own. You know, I guess they forage, they build. So again, basically what you draw goes in the world. You can draw structures, blocks, all these different textures. But you got to venture out in this sandbox, huge sandbox world, and get these clues, basically these magic spells that it starts to unlock these different abilities as you draw.
Realm to collect sketches. Sketches are scrolls that allow you to create various items like trees, weather effects, or...
Just that right there. The fact that I can draw trees and different things in this world, the weather effects, and then I see it in the real world, I think it's cool as heck.
Parts to build a fortress. Enemy at the gates? Draw yourself a weapon, a spell, or...
Right there. The fact that people, I mean, you can draw your weapon. And again, this is I love, like Homebrew, Vehicle Sandbox. One of the reasons I love that game is I can be creative. And I think there's no age limit on that, whether you're young or old to be creative. Here's a chance I'm going to be able to create some wild stuff. And I think people are going to go wacko with this and have a lot of fun and create some really incredible stuff in this game.
Even a creature to fight alongside you.
There, as you said, there is destruction in this game.
By the way, physics can become your ally too. Experiment with sketches and invent your own ways of progressing through the game, or simply play for fun. Sketch Tales doesn't require players to be professional artists, but it can help them discover their potential and improve their techniques while playing. Don't want to draw at all? No problem. You can always use ready in-game assets, or those created and shared by other players.
Now, that's the other part. So this is you have multiplayer, you play with your friends, right? You can see the stuff they've built. You can actually share assets. So you built a creature, you can share that with the other players. That's the way I'm understanding it.
There is much more to do in Sketch Tales besides drawing. The vast game world is full of quests, secrets, treasures, dangers, and surprises. Every creature has its own desires, relations, and habits. Characters you draw will have their own lives. They can travel, build themselves a home, start a family. They can also give you quests depending on their needs. Yeah, so even though it looks like kind of this cartoonish type world, there's a lot going on here under the surface about these quests, you know, this open sandbox world you can roam through. Drawing stuff goes into the world, takes on a life itself. All of these things and basic decisions you make and the stuff you do in this world shape what this world is going to look like. In order to achieve this, we added a life simulation system that may remind you of the Stalker's A-Life. Basically, Sketch Tales is a living world, which will appear exactly as you imagine and where you can do whatever you wish.
All right, guys. So that's that video, and it's just, just a sample of what this is about. There's a couple images I found. I thought that looked pretty cool. Here's one right here, and then this one here. I like the whole black and white thing. It looks cool, but this one here really intrigued me. Just looking at this, because to me, what it's saying is we can roam out in this world here. I just think that's going to be cool, and I think again, if you could draw a lot of this stuff. You're going to see a lot of unique creations out there. And I just think, again, the story of the team, of the guy in charge, 8T Studios, giving it up to commit to his dream. He's got my support just from that alone. Even if the game's a flop, I don't care. I'm going to throw out my $10, to be honest. And in 4 days, I'm hoping to get in access a little bit earlier. If I do, I'll bring you some coverage of that through my YouTube channel. I'll make sure subscribe to my channel, and that way you'll know when I'll send a tweet out or something, and maybe even live stream it. So, hey guys, put the links below. Check it out. Share your thoughts below. I think it's going to be awesome. I think there's a lot of potential in this game. Cheers, peace, guys. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for the likes, and I will see you in the gaming world.